Hey team, it's Ange here, and in today's video I want to help you guys out improving your squat, improving the depth of your squat, feeling it where you want to feel it so you get more bang for your buck when you practice and work on these drills. So if you want more, I'll just mention that on Monday we're going to be starting our Find Your Form 3-day strength challenge, where we go through this kind of thing in way more depth. We cover more as well, so it's free. You can join us. I'll put the link below the video. Go check that out. But for today, I really want to break down for you just a few tips in improving your squat. So your active squat, so you can feel it in the right places. So firstly, I just want to say a lot of people have problem with depth. So maybe their squat kind of looks like this, something like this to start with. So firstly, we need to work on the lower part of the squat. So working on your deep squat, which I'm sure you've heard if you follow us before, we love working on this. I'm going to put something underneath my heels to make it more comfortable so my tissues can relax. But working on your deep squat and spending more time here is going to allow your tissues in the hips, knees, and ankles to adapt for that lower half of the squat. So number one, I want you to spend more time in this position. It's going to help your active squat. It's going to help your range and depth. All right, if you don't need the roller underneath your heel, you certainly can just do it straight on and work on your depth this way. But for me and Marty, we already had the deep squat. We didn't know much about the active squat when we went into it. So we found it a lot easier because we had access to that range in the first place. So I highly recommend practicing that. The second tip I want to give you is to actually slow down. Often when I see people add in their sets of squats, they're kind of doing it something like this. An intentional squat is going to get way more value for you. So number one, make sure your feet aren't too narrow because you're going to get stuck here. Maybe heel toe them a little bit wider. Toes can be slightly out. I like to bring my hands in front so I'm not collapsing here. If I have my hands down, I'm more likely to collapse. Hands up in front, chest up. And when we slowly work our way down, so as I come down, my ankles start to flex, then my knees start to flex. Then my hips are flexing, I find my deep end range, and then from here I go the other way. My hips start to extend, my knees extend, my ankles extend, I come to the top. So different to the one I showed you before. Let's go again. So ankles, knees, and hips, and I'm really keeping myself upright here. Hips, knees, ankles. We do one more here. Coming down, ankles, knees, making sure those knees don't collapse inwards. Keeping nice open chest, going straight up. So straight up through the crown of our head. Let's do two more. Stay with me, ankles, knees, and hips. Pushing up through the heels, hips, knees, ankles. One more here, team. Ankles, knees, hips. Find your depth. It can be different to mine. It's all good. I just got a nice hip crack. Things are loosening up. That was only 5 reps, and I feel like everything was working for me. So much more effective than doing 10 really quick, unintentional squats. Now, if you want to feel it more, so you're having a little bit of trouble feeling it through the back of the legs and the glutes, so working our posterior chain, what I recommend is working on getting a more vertical shin. So there's nothing wrong like we doing knees over toes squat. Often we train something more like this. Yeah, knees over toes, great for different things as well. We're going to be really working through our knees, but if you want to work more through the back of the legs, then you want to work on a vertical shin. There's a few ways to do it. I like to hang on to something. Well, let's just see what I can find here. So follow me here. I actually, when I'm at home, I like to use the kitchen sink. So you can use the kitchen sink on bench and hang on there. But I've got this pole here, so I'm going to use this. Same position through my feet. I'm going to keep upright. What I want to do is come down so that I can have a vertical shin. So this is my shin going upright. And then from here, I'm going to push through my heels, less grip on this, and come up and really feel the back of my legs and my glutes. So stay upright, come down, push through the heels, and come back up. So down, push straight up, just like we did in that previous one. Keep the shins upright. My knees are not going to be going over my ankles for this one because I want to work the back of my legs. Push through the heels, squeeze, and come up. You have to work pretty hard, using as little through the arms as you can. 2 more here just to get the hang of it. If you've got something you can hang on to, give it a go. And up. Last one here. Coming down, push through the heel, and coming up. Another way you could do it if you didn't want to hold on to something is do what we did before, but actually make sure, you can even have the arms overhead here for something different, and make sure that you don't lean forward as you come down, because often when we squat, this is what happens. So if that's you and you want more glute involvement, do your squats in front of a wall so that it forces you to stay upright and pushing through the back of your legs and heels. So that's just a little tip that you can do as well. My last tip, come back over and we'll go through this last one here. So my last tip for you, often when we're just starting out, we think body weight is easier than using a weight. Now, it technically definitely is, but from a beginner, you will improve quicker with a squat if you can add weight. And this is because we're loading up the tissues. By adding a weight, we're using our core. So if I'm just doing a normal squat, I don't have to handle as much through my core, through my trunk, through my chest and back muscles. Whereas if I pick up a weight, so I've got a 12 kilo here. You don't have to have a 12 kilo, you can have anything from 6 to 12. I'm going to keep this up like a goblet squat, hold it like a Y, right in my chest, same position as before. Now this time I have to work hard, otherwise this weight I'm going to lose it in my chest. So upright, shoulders back, my core is on, everything in here has to kind of brace a little bit more now. And now as I come down, the weight is actually going to allow me to counterbalance, to find depth. I can even hold here and really notice, let the tissues notice what this feels like. And then same as before, I push through the heel and I go straight back up. So if you're with me, you've got a weight. Let's give 4 more a go. We come down, chest stays up. Here, push through the heels, straight back up. Imagine that wall is right in front of you. Push through the heels, straight back up. We've got 3 more here, team. Chest is upright. Breathe, exhale, push. Squeeze your bottom as you press up. 2 more. Not gonna let this weight win. Last one here. Coming down with control and then push through the feet, press away. All right, so I hope those tips help you really get more value out of your squat. As I mentioned, we'd love you to join us for our 3-day challenge, Find Your Form. We start Feb 14. Any questions, want to know more, comment below and get in touch with us.